Continue watching to see who got highlighted in this video, and watch to the end if you want to see how we got the answer. Congratulations to Joy David for commenting the correct answer on Facebook. We have Dan sold 40 concert tickets in 5 days. So over the period of 5 days, 40 concert tickets. Each day he sold 3 more than the previous day. The number of tickets he sold on the third day. So here's what I do. They didn't even tell us how much he sold on day 1. So since we don't know how much he sold on day 1, we would say the amount of tickets sold on. Let me just write that in short form because this thing will take a little while. D1 is representing day 1, right? So the amount of tickets sold in day 1 would be represented by X. Why am I putting X? I don't know what it is because it never said anything about how much he sold on day 1. So I can't assume it's some random figure, right? So that's day 1. And they are saying the key thing to know how much he sold on the others days, they said each day he sold 3 more than the previous day. So that means on day 2, if he sold 3 more than the previous day, it meant he sold the same amount as the previous day, but 3 in addition to that, or 3 more than the amount sold. So the amount he sold on day 1, he also sold on day 2, but 3 more than that. So the same thing will be happening by day 3. Each day he sold 3 more than previous day. So on day 3, he sold the same amount as day 2, but 3 more. So he sold the same amount as day 2, which is 3x plus 3, and 3 more than that. So it's really going to end up being x plus 6. Because every day he's selling the same amount as the previous day, but 3 more in addition to it. So we are catching that. So by the time day 4 comes around, he sold x plus 6, which is the same amount as the 3, but 3 more than that. So that will end up being, x plus 9. So on the 5th day that I would write as D5 or D5, he would have sold the same amount as day 4, but 3 more. Because every day he's selling 3 more. So that means every day he's selling the same amount as previous day, but 3 more in addition to that. So by day 5, he sold x plus 12. So I hope you're clear on that part so far. So what am I going to do now? Well, and they told us the total number of tickets he sold. So let me ask you, when you know the total number of something, what would you do? We have some information on the screen. It is in an algebraic form because we don't know what x is yet, right? So what you're going to do? What will you all do? Let me see if you're thinking. Anybody? When you know the total transpose, we will have to transpose, but before you transpose, what will you do with the 40? So create an equation. So the information I have here, you create an equation. So it's like day 1 add day 2 add day 3 add day 4 add day 5. So day 1 is x, and we don't know what x is, at least not yet. And day 2 is x plus 3. And day 3 is x plus 6. Day 4 is x plus 9. And day 5 is x plus 12. So we know that once you catch that they are saying that Dan sold 40 concert tickets in 5 days, this is what the 5 days represent in an algebraic form, but all of this must be equal to 40 tickets. So anytime you know what the information is equal to, create an equation using what it is equal to. So it cannot be more than 40, it cannot be less than 40, it has to be exactly 40. Because that's what they said, over the 5 days sold 40. And what we're trying to figure out is how much is sold on the third day. So in order for us to find how much is sold on the third day, we create an equation there, and then we simplify, and then we transpose. Why we need to simplify? We have a whole set of x's in here, so we have to simplify all the x's. So each of the x is 1x. We have 5 x's, so 1 add 1 add 1 add 1 add 1 will give us 5x. Don't understand it to add the coefficients of the x's because they are all terms in x. And then you add all the numbers. So 3 add 6 is 9, 9 add 9 is 18, 18 add 12 is 30, believe so. 19, 20, yeah. Let's double check it. 3 and 6 is 9, 9 and 9 is 18. Okay, so this is equal to 40. So for this one, you have to create your own equation. So this might have taken a little bit more time. But again, once you practice the questions, because you might see this repeat. I think I've seen this repeat in a few paper ones before, probably 1 or 2, not a whole lot of them. You'll get the hang of it and when you see it in exam. Some people might remember the answer as well. So that's the cool thing about paper ones. They like to repeat for some reason. Yes, so I'm taking off this part. So at this point now I will transpose for x. So I'll get x by itself. I know I have to move the 30 and the 5. Of course, if you're going to reverse BEDMAS, you move anything that's adding, such as the 30, before anything that's multiplying to the x, such as the 5. So you move any 30 first. This wrongs, unless I have somebody in this session who have been around. Okay, let me just go through it full because I just try when I teach, and honestly, this is just the honest thing. Sometimes I just do shortcuts, sometimes I don't. I just try to show the full working because some persons will be able to follow through seeing every single step. Other persons, their brain process stuff pretty different. Why I put minus 30? Oh, no, what I put here was sorry. Yeah, some persons, their brain can they don't even have to write this part, they just minus the 30 also. So for the persons who I know will rewatch and may not be all that yet, at least not yet, I'll do the first again. So 30 take away 30 0, and then we remain with the 5x. And of course, you know, 5 is being multiplied by x, is the opposite of multiplication, which is to divide. You divide here by 5 as well. And you end up with 5 into 5 is 1, 1. 5 into 5, 1, 5 into 10. So x here is going to be equal to 2. All right. So that's the x part. So now we know on day 1, Dan sold 2 tickets, but they didn't ask us for day 1 because day 1 was x alone. I shall leave the whole thing on the screen by the way. But I know from the information here, this one represented, I use different colors. I know I wrote them in an order, so that's the good thing about it. This one represented day 1 was just x alone. Day 2 was x plus 3 because every day he stole 3 more. Day 3, so it's day 3 we need, which is the third day. So in order to find the amount so on the third day, since we now know what the value of x is, we could say well day 3 was x plus 6. Some people already catch it, but yeah, replace the x with 2, 2 add 6, meant that on day 3 he sold 8 tickets.